What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions Podcast. Week 12 picks against the spread with Wally the Million Lira Man. I'm your host, as always, Alex Cuesta. Wally cannot be with us again this week, but we are thankful for a lot of things today. It is Thanksgiving Day. It is Turkey Day. Always thankful for Wally coming on weekly, doing this with me. Thankful for all the followers, the listeners, the fans, my amazing family, my amazing friends, everyone that I've been involved with that's made me me, that's made Sports Opinions what it is. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving for everyone. And we are going to do our picks. We're going to make it hopefully short and sweet because I know everyone wants to get ready to go eat turkey and they do not want to be listening to a podcast. But if you are a gambler, you need to listen because you need to get these picks in today early because there is 3 NFL games going on today and your Million Lira Man is betting on all 3. We're going to talk about last week first, which was another tough week for us, but let not your heart be troubled. We are going to get back on track. First, going to go over the big games from last week, or the locks that we picked last week, starting off with the Million Lira Man. He had another tough week. Unfortunately, he went 0-3. But, you know, if you gamble, everyone knows this happens. Streaks happen, and that it's tough to pick. He picked Falcons minus 3.5 against the Cowboys. Ended up Cowboys winning that game, so that pick was null and void anyway, 22-19. He picked Titans plus 1.5 against the Colts. Colts dominated the Titans 38-10. And he also picked Cardinals minus 5 against the Raiders. Raiders ended up getting a rare win, 23-21. That was an 0-3 week again for the Million Lira Man. Tough 2 weeks back-to-back. He's at 17-16-2, still above 500. So it's still a good record. He will get back on track this week. I can promise you that. So definitely go lock in his picks when I give them to you. As for me last week, I, again, went tough sledding because, again, NFL teams do what they want to do. Sometimes some of them don't show up, like Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, Colton. Your team didn't show up, and they do this pretty often where you think they're going to do well, and then they suck. For some reason, they can't cover the spread. They should have lost to Jacksonville. They didn't play well. They ended up winning 20-16. But I had them minus 5, and they screwed me. I don't know why I ever trust Pittsburgh for anything. I don't like that franchise. I will not pick them. I do not like them. Next game, Denver at the Chargers. Chargers failed me. They lost to Denver 23-22. Chargers were favored minus 7. You know, I'm stupid enough to go with them a lot because they score a lot. Last week, they killed me, losing a home game against the Broncos. Final game I picked, I was right. I picked New Orleans minus 8 against the defending champion Eagles, who are not a good football team right now. And they got dominated 48-17 in New Orleans. That brings my record last week to 1-2 and overall 17-26-1. Not as good as the Million Lira Man, but I'm getting there. And it was a tough sledding last week, again, like I said, but this week will be different. It is Thanksgiving today. There are 3 games on, and your Million Lira Man, Wally, is picking all 3 today. First game, he likes Bears minus 3 against the Lions. Mitchell Trubisky has been playing very well. Howard is running the football awesome. That defense is amazing. And the Lions are inconsistent. I also like the Lions to win this game. I mean, not the Lions, the Bears to win this game. I think it's a great pick. The Lions are traditional in, they're traditionally playing at Thanksgiving, but I think the Bears are going to spoil that. He has the Redskins plus 7 against the home Cowboys, another Thanksgiving traditional team. This one, I don't mind it. I think minus 7 for the Cowboys is a big line considering the Skins play close games. It's a divisional game. Going Skins plus 7 is a smart pick here. And the final game for today is the Falcons plus 12.5 going to the Saints. This one, again, divisional game. They gave a huge line to the Saints because the Saints score a lot, and in my eyes, they're the best team in football. But not giving the Falcons offense any respect is a mistake. The Falcons always seem to come back in the second half, or either come back or give it back. Either way, they play close games, so I do like his Falcons plus 12.5 pick in primetime today. So you have his 3 picks, his 3 locks: Bears minus 3, Skins plus 7, Falcons plus 12.5. I just realized I skipped over the big games of the week. I'll get to them last this time. I'll give you our locks first, and then I'll give the big games. My locks this week, I agree with him. Chicago minus 3 going to Detroit today. I like that game. Again, like I said, I like the Bears to win this game. The Lions don't know who they are, and they're Matt Patricia. Matt Stafford has not been himself. It looks like if he continues this, he might be on the downturn of his career, so that's really something to look at. And Mitch Trubisky just keeps on getting better. Chicago -3 is a lock. I like the Giants +6 heading into the reeling Eagles. I know a lot of people might look at this and go, no, the Eagles are going to get back on track. They're a good matchup against the Giants because the Giants' offensive line isn't good. The Eagles are said to have a good pass rush on defense. I haven't seen it yet this year. Carson Wentz got hit a lot last week, showed some flaws. I think the Giants are riding high off of 2 wins, heading into a division game. Even if they lose, it's not going to be dominant. I don't think it's going to be by more than 6 points, so I like the Giants +6 there. Last game I like, even though the Chargers let me down last week, they shouldn't let me down against an awful Arizona Cardinals team. Chargers are favored -12.5. I like the Chargers there. They score a lot. They will get back on track, and they will beat Arizona by more than 12.5 points. So I like Chargers -12.5 there. And unfortunately, I do Jets picks every time they play. I have to make another Jets pick, even though they are god-awful. And because they're god-awful, I like New England coming into MetLife, beating them by over 10 points. New England's favored -9.5. I'm taking New England -9.5, even though they have struggled as well. The Jets are the team that everyone gets back on track for. The Jets 2 weeks ago just lost to the Bills 41-10, and the Bills are one of the worst teams in football. They didn't fire their head coach. They didn't fire their offensive coordinator. We should expect to see much of the same, where Jamal Adams is really the only bright spot on the team, and everyone else just kind of goes out there and goes through the motions for the Jets. So New England -9.5 is my pick there. So again, go through my picks. I like Chicago as well, -3, Giants +6, Chargers -12.5, and New England -9.5. On to a quick big games. Like I said, this is a very truncated version because it is Thanksgiving. You don't need to be sitting there listening to a podcast to get your picks like that. So truncated version. Big games for all you degenerate gamblers that bet everything for the week. First big game I have is, like Wally, he bet the Skins and Cowboys. Washington Redskins 6-4 at Dallas Cowboys 5-5. Cowboys are -7 favored here. I like where Wally went with the +7. That's where I would go. This is a battle for the division. If the Cowboys win this game, not only does it open it up for the other 2 teams who are playing today, the Eagles and the Giants. If the Giants win, they go on a little streak. They're, I think, 4-7 at that point. The division's wide open. Dallas will get a share of the lead. I think will be in the lead because if they beat the Redskins, they'll have the tiebreaker. And the NFC East will continue to be terrible but wide open. So that's a huge game. Next game that's a big game is Seattle -5-5. Seattle 5-5 at Carolina, who's 6-4. Carolina's favored -3.5 in this game. Seattle's going into Carolina, but Carolina has been on a skid. They have not been playing well. Seattle's found something. They've been running the ball through Carson very well. Lockett's doing good. Baldwin's back. I would pick Seattle +3.5 here. Even though Carolina needs to get back on track, they're struggling. They're struggling mightily, and Seattle is not. They figured out something. I feel like Carolina might enter a 3-game skid here. My gut tells me to go +3.5 Seattle. And the final big game of the week, Tennessee at 5-5 going into Houston at 7-3. Houston is favored -6.5. Tennessee has scored a lot of points over the last few weeks, but I cannot continue to ride them. I like Houston here. Houston can put a stranglehold on that division if they beat Tennessee. They'd be at 8-3, and they're already the favorites to win the division, but they would kind of lock it up if they can get to 8-3. I like Houston -6.5 here. I like what Deshaun Watson brings. I like Hopkins. I like everything about that team. So I'm going Houston -6.5 if you have to bet these big games. This week was a tough week to bet. The spreads were weird as they've been all year. A lot of the teams are playing each other, have very similar records. So it's a fun week. It is Thanksgiving Day football, 3 Thursday games, and we have a full nice slate of games on Sunday. So again, last time, Wally is going with Bears -3, Skins +7, Falcons +12.5. I'm going Chicago -3, Giants +6, Chargers -12.5, Patriots -9.5. Everyone, have an amazing Thanksgiving. Oh, and really quickly, go follow the Million Lira Man, at Million Lira Man on Twitter. You can buy his packages. He has a special Black Friday deal going all week, and it's up until Saturday. You can get a 1-day pass for $15, 3-day pass for $35, and a week pass for $70. And don't just rely on me for saying that. Let me tell you what he has been doing over the last 30 days since the 20th. NFL, he's been 29-2. That's 69% correct. NCAA football, 18-9-1. That's 67% correct. Basketball, he's been 29-9-1, 76% correct. For NCAA basketball, 13-12, 52% correct. And then hockey, 21-17, 55% correct. He has a very good track record of getting it right. If you want to make money, you go with the Million Lira Man. He has great deals going on. Again, that's at Million Lira Man on Twitter. I'm Alex Cuesta. Find me on Twitter, Instagram at @A_Cuesta30. Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30. Instagram, Sports Opinions 30. The Facebook page, just search us. And again, spread the word. Listen, make some money. Follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play Music, YouTube, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, almost anywhere, Spreaker. Almost anywhere you can find the podcast, anywhere you can hear someone talking and saying words. Besides the actual radio, you can find me. You can find Sports Opinions. So again, everyone, have an amazing Thanksgiving. Always thankful for everything. Don't only be thankful today. Be thankful for your whole life at everything you have. Have a great week of NFL football. Happy gambling. Have a good one, everybody.